Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and this weekend was, and I believe still is going on, the Mythic Championship. I believe this is number 5 or something. I don't know. The way they're naming these and how they canceled some, just at this point, whatever. There's a tournament going on. And you guys know I don't follow the Pro League that much, except in 2 cases. One, well, let's just say my next video involves somebody getting caught cheating. And then there's the whole Blizzard Hong Kong situation. And when I heard that one of the players in the Mythic Championship was going to be Li Shi Tian, I'm like, oh, this gonna be good. Now, if you don't know the situation, honestly, for demonetization reasons, I can't really explain it. Look it up. Like, how the hell have you not heard about this at this point? Basically, somebody did something at a Hearthstone tournament to outline the things going on. And Blizzard reacted very poorly by banning them for a very long time and initially taking away their prize money, which is ridiculous. So then the entire planet and quite possibly any aliens watching turned on Blizzard. And ever since, a whole bunch of people have been mimicking it. So I'm like, oh, wait a minute, Li Shi Tian's from Hong Kong. Oh boy. So Mr. Take No Prisoners, now I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. Li Shi Tian comes out and, well, this happens.
From Hong Kong, let's welcome Li Shi Tian.
All right, so I had to mute this for the music reasons, might be copyrighted. But yeah, he comes out in a mask that symbolizes anonymity and like gas masks, kind of. Then that's a symbol representing like police brutality because there was a famous image of one of the protesters that got injured in their eye. So yeah, pretty strong and clear message there. Now, he didn't say anything. There was nothing like written on his shirt. It's just pretty clear what he meant to represent there. Also, he didn't actually make 3 laps around the stage. I'm just looping the clip. That would have been hilarious. And then like the 3rd time around, he's like, seriously, guys, where's my chair? So then after he makes it to the top 8, there's an interview after I believe his qualifying match to get to the top 8. And I'll just roll the relevant parts of this. I have to use the least amount that I possibly can to convey my message to review this for it to still be fair use. So I am chopping this up quite a bit. Links to the original clips in the description.
What does that feel like?
Yeah, I mean, life has been very tough in my hometown in Hong Kong.
And then he does actually comment on his deck, you know, why he thought it worked, you know, what cards did the best for him and that kind of stuff. And then he drops this epic quote.
You cannot kill my Steam King. And now everything just swing as a free man. It feels so good to play as a free man.
Absolutely.
So, you know, he's not being a dick about it. He talked about his deck and the gameplay and that kind of stuff for a reasonable amount of time. And then the announcer was trying to steer it back to gameplay. And I don't have a problem with that. They weren't like trying to pretend he didn't say it. And they weren't going to just be like, no, kill the mic. So, I mean, I guess respect for that. I assume somebody backstage or someone heard from someone that probably he was going to come out and, you know, say something, do something, wear something. And they're just like, fine, whatever. I think that's cool of them. I mean, I think they had to. I don't know what their actual intention was. I know that all the super hyper far left liberal activists, you know, assholes at Wizards of the Coast, of course, they're going to be like, oh, some group minorities getting oppressed by evil government. You know, of course, they'd be on their side, duh. But then again, like, just about everyone with a brain is on their side because China sucks and everybody knows that the government is just a bunch of human rights violating oppressive assholes. I mean, it's the book 1984 cranked up to 11. Like, you can literally get arrested for thought crimes over in China. It's ridiculous. So, that said, they didn't have a choice. If they decided to be like, no, you can't do this, you're not even going to be allowed back on camera until you take off the face mask and, you know, don't you dare say anything political when we're interviewing you or we just won't, or, you know, something like that, or threaten to kick him out of the tournament or whatever. If they pulled anything like that, oh my gosh. And it's not like Wizards of the Coast has 0 ties to China, but they're not that heavily invested. I mean, remember the Jiang Yanggu and Mu Yanling decks that were released exclusively in China? I mean, it's not like nobody in China plays their game, you know, it's taken off, but they're kind of baby steps into China right now. They're not like full blown, 50% of our income comes from Chinese players as far as I know. So if they did something to massively piss off China like this, and the Chinese government responded by saying, you are banned for import, you can't sell anything, and the game is banned for play in our entire country, which honestly at this point after this might happen. It's like, okay, there goes one market, but they're everywhere else in the world. So like I said, I don't have access to any kind of numbers, even with like, you know, stockholder reports and stuff that they release saying, oh, this percentage of our income comes from the Chinese market, but I doubt it's above even 10%. So if they lost it, it's like, it's not insignificant. But as far as I know, there's no interest from China in Hasbro or Wizards of the Coast as companies, other than the toy manufacturing. because a lot of it's made out of plastic and a lot of that's made in China. That could be a problem. So Hasbro could be looking at some hot water here, but it's kind of disconnected. It's like one person, one event for one product line for one subdivision of Hasbro. Are they really going to be like, oh, now we're not going to make your Transformer and My Little Pony toys? And the answer is, have you met the Chinese government? Yes, absolutely they would do that. They're crazy. They overreact to everything and make a knee-jerk instant overreaction. But I don't know, it seems like a little bit of a stretch, and I think even the Chinese government knows, like, okay, we would lose a lot of money if we stopped manufacturing Hasbro's entire line of toys. So I think they're just going to look the other way and maybe just try to like slap on the wrist Wizards anywhere from that to like, oh, the game is now banned. Just that one card game is banned in China. And if it happens, it happens. Whatever. Less money for Wizards. I guess they'll just focus on other regions. I mean, at this point, with how they're set up worldwide, oh well. None of the cards are produced in China. I'm pretty confident of that. Belgium, Texas, and Japan are the big ones for producing the cards. So it'll be interesting if they just act like, oh, we didn't see this happen. And all the Chinese censors and all that, the PR departments, they just kind of brushing under the rug, or if they absolutely drop the hammer and try to make an example of them. At least it's not like Tencent owns some percentage of Hasbro. And if you're thinking, well, why would Tencent, the big, gaming company in China, own part of Hasbro? They own 100% of Riot Games. They own 40% of Epic Games. They own 11.5% of Bluehole, 5% of Ubisoft, or Ubisoft, depending on how you want to pronounce it, 5% of Blizzard. They own 80% of Grinding Gear Games, the makers of Path of Exile. And, Supercell, Frontier Developments, Kakao, Paradox Interactive, Fat Shark, Funcom, Shark Mob, Discord. Discord, guys. In fact, that's not even a disclosed amount. It's some portion of $158 million. FYI, my source on this was PCGamer.com. So yeah, large Chinese corporations get their hands in everything, not because they are a producer of anything. It's just, one, greed, because Chinese companies are incredibly greedy, and their whole culture is incredibly greedy, honestly. And then two, large companies have huge government ties over there because they're allegedly communist, but let's get real. But they act like it functionally. So then they can tell the company to tell the American company, hey, throw around your weight with your shares and threaten to withdraw the funding and, drop $100 million like out of their bank instantly if they don't do what you say. Not that the government couldn't just step up and directly say, hey, if you want to sell your game, your product here in our country, you have to do this, this, and this, because, well, they do that, whether, Tencent owns a portion of them or not. You basically have to get approval or clearance to sell your product in China, and if there's the tiniest little graphic or reference or name or something they don't like, you have to remove it, or they say no, automatically banned. So the moral of the story is it is not worth it to expand your business into China. Never do it. It is not going to end well. They are a terrible, terrible place run by a terrible government full of terrible people. Now, that said, the people in the culture are, on the whole, wonderful. It's just the leadership and the politics that are oppressive, dickish assholes. And also, the food is really good. But like when there's mass stabbings, because there's a ton of those, and any kind of stuff like that, the government will just suppress it, pretend like it never happened, and go to every single media outlet and say, no, you can't report on this, because we can't let the people know that this is happening on a wide scale. Every time it happens, we're going to suppress it, because then people think everything's peachy. And then we'll pretend we don't have a problem, and they'll think that we actually don't have this problem, even though we do have this problem. The same goes for pollution. They'll lie about it. I mean, test scores, illness levels. They've tried to cover up, bad product recalls, large arrests of people. They'll just cover it up, pretend like it never happened. I mean, they can erase events from history, basically. It's disgusting the way that they govern over there. And now they're extending that absolute bullshit over into Hong Kong. So do I support Li Shi Tian doing this and saying the things he did? Yes and no. I'm going to say an overriding yes, even though it would be absolutely no with my normal policies, I guess you would say, or opinions on mixing politics with gaming. Now listen to this whole statement and the whole explanation before you leave a thumbs down and leave the video, okay? Because there's a big but at the end of this. I hate it when you're watching some, awards show, the Emmys, whatever, and then some actor gets up and they're, oh, thanks for this, thanks for... And by the way... blah, 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 Trump, blah, 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 abortion, blah, 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 climate change. It's like, bitch, we're talking about awards. We're talking about movies. We ain't talking nothing about politics. Why are you bringing this shit up? Oh, because you're on TV in front of a bunch of people and you think that that's more important, which, I mean, okay, yeah, I get it. Like the future of the planet, political views, religious views. Like I could get where somebody would be like, no, this is more important. You know, I can respect them for thinking that, except that half the time it's SJWs and they're completely crazy and wrong. But I'm smart enough to recognize that this isn't me versus them. This is my team versus their team and rawr, you know, hostility and polarizing and let's all not get along. I mean, this kind of BS is why you can't like hang out with your friends and go bowling without somebody bringing up like religion, politics, controversial topics and going off about how they're right and you're wrong. Like just everybody knows, don't do that. So NFL players, basketball players, you're there to play a game. I'm there to watch a game. Shut up about politics. I don't care what you're saying. So I could be one of those dumbass hypocrite lemmings who says, well, as long as they're saying something I agree with, then it's fine. It's never fine. I don't care if you're playing League of Legends or Hearthstone or Magic or football. It doesn't matter. That's what you're here to do. That's what I'm here to watch. Keep the politics and political statements and all this other bullshit away from it. Because like I said, it would make me the biggest hypocrite in the world if I said, well, they can go up in front of anything, anytime and start busting out their commentary about this, that, and the other thing, as long as I agree with it. But if they disagree with it, well, then they shouldn't be allowed to say that. It really is all or nothing. But in this particular case, there has to be strong statements. There has to be absolute just shoving this in the face of China, saying that the rest of the world's not going to tolerate this. Wizards isn't going to tolerate this. Celebrities from Hong Kong are not going to tolerate this. This is their everyday life. When he flies back to Hong Kong, he has to deal with these protests and the police and the crackdowns and the internet censorship, and he could get arrested the second he steps off a plane. There are bigger things going on in his life and everybody else in Hong Kong's life on a daily basis. This is not some political thing. It's not an ideology. It's not just, I think this should change. This is my opinion on culture and people and what they should do and should say. This is like real stuff, real people getting attacked by real police and being labeled as rioters and getting their rights suppressed. Like this is legitimately provably bigger and more important than some stupid paper card game, or digital in this case. So in this one case, I will say it's appropriate because it's so specific to esports and gaming. He is actually from there. It actually affects him and it's actually provably important. So in this one case with this one topic, I would say, yes, I absolutely support him going up there and making all the political statements and, you know, pro-protester statements he wants. Because the vast majority of people are like, this is doing something. This is encouraging people. This is telling the Chinese government a very strong message. This is real. This is constructive. Like, okay, I can put up with 10 seconds of him saying something about Hong Kong at my gaming tournament. But some dumbass Hollywood bimbo who's like on a talk show and all of a sudden they go from promoting the movie to talking about abortion. No, shut the hell up. That is obviously important, but like that's more disconnected. It's so out of nowhere. It's not relevant. It's not Hong Kong plus esports plus live streams plus a person who's actually from Hong Kong. It's just some arrogant elitist Hollywood asshole telling you how to think and how much better they are than you and trying to spread their ridiculous message in all likelihood. Kind of hints at my stance on that, but that ain't what this video is about. Hey, what a concept. I can cover something and stay on topic without being like, and this is what I think, because what I think is super important, and I want to shove it down your throat, and you're going to listen to it no matter what, even though that's not what you came here to hear about. So yeah, I think the one thing that you really got to take away from this whole situation is that pie is better than cake, okay? That's just my personal belief. I know it has absolutely nothing to do with this video, but pie is tastier than cake. The average pie is better than the average cake. At your next birthday party, you should get a pie. You should not get a cake. If you get a cake, you are doing it wrong. And you would be better off with delicious cinnamon apple, mixed berry, just cherry pie. That's better than a chocolate cake any day of the week. Like seriously, that's what this is like. It's just shut up. Like you're not here to hear this. Hopefully that makes sense. One little thing I gotta add, he was playing Mono Red Cavalcade, so f*** him, right? I've said it before, I'll say it again. There's no fun, there's no friendly, there is money, okay? There is I win, you lose at a tournament, a large tournament. Bring what deck you think is going to win, period, the end. That is where your responsibility ends and Wizards of the Coast responsibility starts, where they need to ban Cavalcade. Or bare minimum Chandra Spitfire and Torbran. It's either gonna have to be those two or Cavalcade. I honestly think they can leave both of them in the game if they got rid of Cavalcade. It's those three together that are just too good. And then Steamkin, don't even get me started. That card should have been banned before it was even printed. So, okay, I can't hate on him too hard for bringing that deck, but still, he was trying to win with Mono Red. Come on. But hey, prize money. Who cares about friendliness? Who cares about his opponents or their feelings or fair play? No, money, results, the end. Dollar bills, y'all. So hopefully he does win or did win, or I don't know, what even day is it? It's technically 12:07 in the morning Sunday. So I think it's completing today. I don't know. I don't care. Ironic that I'm way more interested in watching clips and tuning in to see what he says about Hong Kong than anything about the results. But you know what? Just for having the balls to get up and do what he did, I hope he wins. Well, also, if he wins, the deck is more likely to get banned. So, all right, I think I've said everything I can say about this topic. Hopefully it all made sense to you. If you agree with everything I said in this video, leave a thumbs up. And if you disagree with some of the things I said in this video, great, leave a thumbs up anyway. And in fact, watch something else on my channel. I am getting murdered by the October ad rates, okay? Nobody spends money on advertising in October. They save it all for November. They don't even have inventory to sell at this point. They're trying to hoard everything. They're like stuffing electronics in their cheek like some kind of electronic squirrel to just spew it out on Black Friday. In fact, if you were to go buy like a staple product, like a printer right now, you're probably going to pay 20% more. Because if you're not waiting until, Black Friday when all the deals and stuff go on and there's more choices and that kind of stuff, then clearly you really need this product. So electronics, everything, a lot of gift items are really high in October and they don't advertise them. So my income is about cut in half this month. So go watch anything on my channel. I got all kinds of playlists and stuff up. If you have not seen the Dank Meme playlist, there's only maybe 10 or 12 videos on it, but they are the greatest videos on my channel. It is impossible for a human being to get through those videos in the playlist without laughing. Can't be done. And I would say free Hong Kong, but I don't have the resources to quite put up that generous of an offer that everybody else seems to be able to. So can't do a free Hong Kong, but what I can do is if you buy one Hong Kong, you can get 30% off one Tibet. That's still a pretty good deal. It's not free Hong Kong, okay? I can't just give away a country, guys. I only have 48K subs. But I mean, buy Hong Kong, 30% off Tibet. That is the deal of the century, in my opinion. So take advantage of that. Link in the description to the store where you can buy entire countries. And I will see you guys next video.